that?
No.
I know. All right, have fun.
I'll try to go quickly.
We have
We're trying to deal with my information. I don't have everything, but this is fun. So we're going to talk about a little bit about 2024, and then I'm going to talk about what we're planning in 2025 for you guys. So, year in review and vision for 2025. So, most people say, I talk to a lot of agents, and they say, "How was 2024?" And they, "Well, it was better than 2023, right?" So, how does everyone feel about that? Was it better than 2023? So, all right. So it's not awesome, but it's better, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about what that means. So, market themes for 2024. Sellers thought a bit. So in our MLS here, 3,500 more sellers came on the market in 2020 than in 2023. So sellers started coming off the block saying, that lock-in effect, they have a low rate. So some sellers are moving. Good news, and we're expecting more sellers to follow in 2025. So just know it is that lock-in effect is trending out. We doubt it's going to go all the way out of 2025, but 2026 is probably when it will fully go away. Rates probably need to hit in the 5% range for the thawing effect to really go away, where actually people just list homes because they're ready to list and sell their home, right? So, but just know it is getting better. And actually, if you saw in December, a lot of listings, our inventory is coming up very high in December. So what's happening is listings are coming on now more. There are more sellers than there are actually buyers now, and that's trending. So we'll have to watch that a bit, because if there are dramatically more sellers than buyers, and if rates stay high, it might cause some pricing that might level out pricing for us. So we'll have to watch that in 2025. New construction killed it. If you didn't know, you may not be watching those numbers, but they did banner here, and that's because of incentives. They bought people's rates down into the fives, and if you buy people's rates to 5, they will buy. Right? So, and they are expected to sell more new homes in our area, Northern California, next year than they did this year, and they killed it. It was one of their top 10 years all time in Northern California. So, if you are going to do sales and we're going to have a lack of inventory, you really should think about getting to know your new home communities in your area, and we're going to help with that as well. So, I think buyers actually thought of it too. 6% more sales in the region is 2025 is promising. So they're saying we're going to get about 6% in our area more buyers in 6%, that's in 2024. We had 6% more sales in our area than in 2024. I mean 23 than 24. But CAR is expecting 10% increase in 2025. So that's why we said it's a little better. We had actually about 6% more sales, which is not that much. About 3,500 more sales than 2023, but 2025 we're expecting another 10% to come on board, as we saw additionally. So if you're setting your goals, and your goals are the same as last year, that means you're going to regress in the market, because the market's getting better. Makes sense? So if your goals are not at least 10% higher than you did last year, then you are shorting yourself, basically, because you're going to get a natural 10% raise next year, which is awesome. Who wants a 10% raise?
Me.
Mortgage rates. Many predicted rates would drop in 2024, and that did not happen. As many of you know, there were some blips and went down a little bit, and it was crazy. Every time it went down, mortgage applications went up dramatically, right? So you can see buyers are very rate sensitive, and they will continue to be. Most are predicting we will stay in the 6 to 7% range all through 2025. And anyone who says they can predict where rates are going, they're lying. They don't know, because there's so much that happens, and there's an X factor, because if Donald Trump, who's going to be our next president, if he actually enacts the tariffs, which I think he will, that will likely cause significant inflation. If we have significant inflation, the Fed will likely raise rates again to compensate for that. So just so you know, all these things that happen, there's some political actions that can happen that will affect our as well. But if rates go up higher, just note that buyers get sensitive, right, about that. So if we have rates going higher, buyers are sensitive to rates, more listings are coming on, just watch that dynamic. I'll watch it closely, but that may be something that we see in 2025 play out, right? So, also, we're seeing a generational shift in real estate. So baby boomers still own most of the homes. They own about 38-40% of the homes. So, some of you are baby boomers too. So.
No.
No. millennials are still the biggest group of buyers currently.
Bang. Let's go.
But Gen Z is actually coming up. They are actually more home savvy than millennials. They are actually, their home ownership rate at age 24 is 27%. So Gen Z's 27% of Gen Z people own homes already at 24. That is the highest rate of any generation going back to the baby boomers at 24. So just so you know, Gen Z likely within the next 5 years will eclipse millennials in home and is the strongest buyer market, right? So if you're young, so this is what I want to show you, like you can be super young and they're 27% of the market, right? So like there's a market out there for you, even if you feel you're young and can't talk to people, right? So just want to know if you're on the other side and you want listings, you should talk to older people.
Hey.
It is what it is, right? So, but millennials are also the number one group of sell by. So most millennials are millennials now are selling by because they're hitting their 40s now and they're sell by, right? So, all right, so lady, and if you watch actually people's businesses, they tend to do business with their generation. So just wanted to let you know that. All right,
That's ageism.
Rich, I think it's your personality. Okay, insurance in California, and will still be a problem.
Right there.
It just, and it's gonna be broken, and it's gonna take a political fix to fix it, and I don't think that's gonna happen, so, in 2025. So it's just gonna get more hairy. If you are selling or buying a home in a fire zone, higher fire, you need to be very on top of your, especially on the buy side, because there's a lot of sellers who are not certifying their property because it's not enforced. And then you're gonna buy, your buyers buy, and then now they're stuck with the bill that could be like $20,000 to clear their property, right? So, Rich, we just went through all that on a deal where the seller's like, no, take it as is, and we're like, no, screw you, right? So, and we made it work, and they actually got the report done and everything, but they didn't want to, right? So, and actually and you know that fire hardening form? They didn't do it in the contract, they actually sent it with the seller disclosures, and they just marked it buyer pays, right? Buyer pays. And they just sent it like with all the seller disclosures, and if, like the TC found it, but if they would have signed it, they would have been responsible, right? So, for that bill. So, please, if you see the NHD, which I know all you need is look at the NHD when you get it. I know you do. Yeah, that's why you're laughing, right? Yeah. I know you look at the NHD, but you should, because if it says fire zone of very high or high fire zone, you are gonna have fire hardening issues and insurance issues. We've seen some rural communities, very rural properties that are very low cost, where the insurance premium is equal to the mortgage premium. Okay, so.
John, just to add, on the listing side, it is beneficial if you upload the certificate
Yes.
on the disclosure, so that way buyers are informed that it is cleared for fire and it is certified. Cause it does help on the listing side if you're in that high fire zone.
It does not have to be cleared, right?
It does not have to be cleared.
Yeah, it's sort of like our.
You have to disclose them, and it is based off county. Ours was in Calaveras, where the listing side was saying, hey, we don't wanna offer that, blah, blah. I kept saying, give it. Finally, John broke in and kicked the door down, and we got it, so.
So, it's not a point of sale trigger. Does anyone know what our point of sale requirements got from them? This three. What else?
Where's T? Where's Steve T?
Yeah, strap your water heater, right? Smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, right? They have to happen at, those are point of sale requirements in California. The fire is not a point of sale requirement. That means you don't have to have closed sales. But it is a legal requirement on homeowners in fire zones. So they're supposed to have certified every year. So, does that make sense? So all it takes, if you bought a home without certified, all it takes is a neighbor complaining, and the Cal Fire comes out and says, you're not certified, here's your report, hey, clean it up. Your buyers are stuck with it. All right, so be careful. And as Alex says, insurance will get worse in 2025, so. I don't know. So, you'll have less and less options and more costly. What we really, it's gonna be more expensive and less options for your buyers. Okay, agent themes, so we have market themes, there's some agent themes that happened in 2024. It's really became a market of have and have nots. Some agents won big, but most agents lost in 2024. If you actually poll the agents, like, how did you do in 2024? Most agents declined. And there's a few that increased. What do you think the difference was?
Teams.
What?
Mindset.
Mindset,
Teams.
Adaptability.
adaptability,
Systems.
consistency, yeah.
Teams.
This is a market, skill-based market we call, that means you gotta hunt for the business, it doesn't come to you. Right, and the people that hunted won, and people don't actually run out of paying, but people who won big in 2024 despite the market. Right? So. NAR settlement gave us buyer broker agreements,
Ooh.
and we realized you guys suck at them, so.
Talk about the 2 forms that are required in our office.
No, we can't. I know what you want.
Can we make that happen?
What?
Can we make it happen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. What forms?
Remember, you gotta do a buyer broker agreement before you tour homes with P buyers, not when you write an offer. We're seeing a lot of that. That would be doing something illegal. So literally, they could sue you and say you violated your settlement agreement and sue you.
Can I say something really quickly?
Yeah.
Okay, so not only now.
This is Sherry, our broker,
Yeah.
the record.
Hi, everybody. Not only are we obligated by the NAR settlement agreement as of January 1st, we're obligated by California law.
Right,
So these are part of California law, and the contents of these agreements have to include per law a compensation amount, services to be rendered, when the compensation is due, and the contract termination. They cannot be for more than 90 days at a time. You can extend them for another 90 days in writing, signatures and all that. So those are the very minimum requirements, yet
Was it 3 months or 90 days?
3 months now. 3 months. I checked both. So the 3-month time limit. A buyer representation agreement that's made in violation of these provisions is void and unenforceable. So if you miss any of those provisions in your agreement, void and unenforceable. And if you don't do these things, you are in violation of licensing laws. So take them seriously. Do those minimal requirements when you complete them.
so we are seeing a lot of our broker agreements come in late. Meaning you're not doing it before you show home, which is a violation, a legal violation.
I just lost it.
You lost the law, and then 2, we're seeing them beyond 90 days, we're seeing a lot of just random dates written in that are beyond 90 days, like 6 months, a year. And then we're seeing stuff with no commission in there, you must have the commission in there, it must have it up.
So John, in our defense, just saying, because this is what I've done, is I will have an agreement with them when I'm showing properties. But then I have another one when I actually get them in contract.
Well, that's okay, we just need to see both.
You guys just don't see the pre-work because, I don't have to upload that one in my file.
Okay, the standard is, if the buyer signs, if the client signs it, it must be uploaded.
Oh, well, then I'd take that.
Then you're violating PRE law about.
Agent.
Okay. If their client signs a document, it must be uploaded, period, so. Or it's a disclosure, okay. We got it, but please get better at your buyer broker agreements, because it is a law now, so.
Gotta be careful what you say.
Commissions are changing, who's feeling the commission change in their business? We are saying this in the office as well, the buyer agent commissions are trending toward 2%. We're seeing a lot.
Yeah, I don't
of
even
that.
see this, because what I'm telling people is when they question me about this, what I've noticed is that we're actually getting paid more because we put in fixed because blah, 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 and I tell them the opposite. So I'm just gonna go with my version.
But I'm just saying this, so. This is probably, and most economists are predicting that it will hover around 2% and stay there. As an average, across as an industry practice in a few years will settle down around there. So if you are a heavy buyer-based agent, guess what? You just got a dog in pay. In this case, about 2.4, 2.5. So you just got about a 0.4, 0.5% deduction in pay if you're buyer heavy.
They still
listings are actually trending up. They were averaging about 2.5, 2.6, they're coming around 2.7, 2.8 now. Most predict they'll stay around 2.8 long term, that's what most economists are predicting. But just so you know, if you're listing heavy, you're actually getting our ratings on that.
And that's why we had such a strong listing panel today. Yeah.
Because it's easier to say, give me 3%, we'll figure out the buy side, right? It's easier to say that to a seller. Then it's easier to go to the buyer like, you're only getting 2%, right? So listings control the market before, because of NAR now, listings really control the market. You actually control the commission rate as a listing agent. So be forewarned, you don't want, if you're buyer heavy, you're gonna have to decline in your business. On your business, you may do a lot of closes, you're gonna have to decline in it. Whew, that's scary, huh? Alright, look forward to 2025. I'm excited. What age should focus on 25? This is still skill-based markets, consistency in lead generation and being strong in conversations will succeed, and if you don't, it will punish you. I guarantee it. You either do the work and do it consistently, or you will regress. And then people like Rich will take your clients. So. That's all right.
Go get it.
Focus on listings. I think it's kind of obvious when we talk about the commission, where the commissions are going. You should focus on listings, and we'll talk about where we are as a brokerage and how we're going to help you on that as well. Don't sleep on buyers though. They are sensitive to rates. So I would, if you're going to work with buyers, remember they're very rate sensitive. So if you want to attract and convert buyers off the fence, I would talk with your lenders, get those buy down programs, get the 3-2-1 program, put that stuff out there, because that's what's going to move buyers. Buyers are just basically, if you get the rate in 5%, they move. So if you want to attract that buy side market, you have a bunch of people. I got all these people on the fence and they'll buy, they're just waiting. Those are the kind of messages that are going to move them off the fence, right? So you need to work with your lender on that and do that, or focus on new homes and get their buy down programs too, right? So, a lot of confidence. Add new homes to your lead gen and knowledge. I can't stress this enough. There's a big portion of sales. I would say 20% and 20-25% of buyers are going to new homes.
You guys,
And
there's
it's a free, easy commission. You just hand them off and they pay you 3 months later. Right? So
there's a $50 million producer we brought over in another office from another company, and she's all new home. If you go on her YouTube, it's all new homes, and she's killing it. She's killing it on YouTube. It's Nagi Manpreet.
And I said, there was a good 2016, 2017. I was coach and broker at the same time on team, so I was like, I don't have time. So I did only new homes. And I did 21 deals, new homes. I just worked with it and advertised nothing but new homes, did the walks, did the videos, all that stuff, and I got a bunch of new homes.
I think Carthy is on number 7. Carthy is, I believe, on new homes. I know we got to rip this. Go ahead.
But we'll also bring that to you.
Can you advertise new homes without permission, or
You're walking through a model.
I can tell you this much, I have yet to meet a sales manager in a new home says, I want to do a video of your model and advertise it to my clients, is that okay?
Yeah.
I have yet to say something, say no. I have new home people emailing me saying, hey, these are my homes for sale, can you have me a client, right? It's the other way around, so if you go to them, they'll do it.
Okay.
2024, we're putting some numbers together, we'll have more next team meeting, but we closed as a brokerage 1,067 transactions. That was the third highest in the last 10 years. Wow. And actually, the only 2 other higher years were the pandemic.
That's awesome.
Right? So when we say the market is improving, but we're actually doing better as a group, we're actually capturing market share, third highest ever in the last 10 years. We sold $615 million in volume, which is the second highest ever.
Wow.
In volume. We are selling higher price homes, even in this market. So when you say that, listings closed, we closed 451 listings, 42.2%. So this is an area we need to improve on. If we're going to be listing based, I want to switch it where we're 60% listings, 40% buyers. And right now we're opposite. We're about 60% buyers, 40% listings. So 616 sold. But that's still good for 5th and 4th place in the last 10 years. So I want to say the market's improving, And finally, We paid out $13.9 million to agents last year. Who had a goal of less than 13.9 million in GCI last year? I'm just saying, so even with the market down, the money's there. And this was the second most we paid in the last 2 years.
That's great.
Does that make sense? So, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good with that, so just know, we're still setting pretty good numbers, even in a down market. So if you're curious about what's happening, just come to this office or go to your office and see who's in the office at 9, 10 o'clock, and you see who, and you'll see what they're doing in their region. All right. Vision for 2025, I'm gonna go this real quick. I have most of you don't know, but I had a 3-year plan to be $1 million market center in 3 years, and I started in 2024. And which is like, now. So that'll be 2026. But this year I have a year to goal. I have a 200K profit share goal and 1,350 transaction close goal, which is about 200 more than we did this last year. And we're only getting a 10% raise, so that's our, if you get a 10% raise, we should just get 100 more automatically. I'm asking for 150 more on top. So, which I think we're all collectively here. We can do that if we do it together, right? So, and I want to hand out $200,000 back to you guys. So get on that growth committee, hand it back. We want to give it to you, right? So, and in 2026, I want to hand $1 million back.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So okay. Exciting things coming. Listing, lead generation, pricing, commission, objection handling training is going to be our focus for all of 2025. We're going to put people in front of you. We're going to teach classes, and it's all going to be about how to lead generate listings, how to go find these listings, how to do a presentation to them, right? How to handle commission objections, and how to close. And we'll also talk about pricing because some of you, we found also we're only closing about we're dropping on our stats about 20%, 27% of our listings. That means we sign listings, but we're only signing about 27% of them. Sorry, we're losing 27% of them. They cancel before they sell. So that means a lot of you are overpricing your listings because you're letting the seller dictate the price instead of you dictate the price. Does that make sense? And so we're going to talk about that yet. No.
I'll talk about it.
We're going to track and bring in new home communities to team meetings so you can stay up to date on the inventory. So we're going to make a big effort to bring at these team meetings new home development so you see what incentives they're offering. You have the material then to go advertise it and market to your buyer base that you can generate more than new home leads for yourself. Club, if you don't know Club, it's our I'm enhancing it. We're doing improved accountability, but I'm also going to implement some things throughout the year on this. One is Rich and our partners on Team Ridge, that is leads. We have just implemented an artificial intelligence ISA. The good part about artificial intelligence ISA, they don't get tired.
And another amazing part about that is they speak any language.
Oh yeah, and they speak
I hand it out.
language, and they don't get mad when someone says that to you, right? So we are doing that live. Those leads will be transferred, and right now we're keeping them tight, but those will be building a T-Rich team within Club. So if you want those leads, there's a different commission structure with those, but those are being handed out through Club. And
So
we're
you're
looking for
saying
people.
if I want leads, I should attend club?
Yes.
That's exactly what he's saying. Yes.
We're also going to look at OpCityRealtor.com. We can do those much better. We're going to transfer those leads to the AIISA, and now we will be doing those leads through there as well for the different commissions, and that's going to all happen through Club. So.
Join club.
When's club?
Mondays.
Noon.
Okay. I am talking with someone right now. I'm talking with a vendor right now. They do rehab loans for repairs for sellers. They will fund them. And then they just get paid. And this will be something you can offer your, what?
You just get paid for escrow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, it's okay.
It sounds great.
So I'm working with this vendor now. It's pretty simple. You just do it, and it's something you'll be able to offer on listing cookie procurement.
Who was it that we brought in last year? It was third quarter last year.
Pre-model, and we're partnered with them already as well, yeah.
Perfect.
So we're gonna get that much more robust so that you can get it into your presentation so that you can work those, because I know you're coming across a lot of listings that need some work, and they would get a lot more money and probably sell with you if you could just help them get the work done. Great.
And this is another vendor outside of Fremont?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to guys give you options, and free model works, but they're very intensive. This one's more hands-off. You kind of do it. And, yeah, some of you may know Commercial Core. We're doing a new commercial agent training for people that want commercial careers. That is starting in February. Andy and I are leading that. We are super excited about that, and it's gonna be super. And that. Investing through your commissions, I have talked. I don't know, you probably got calls, but if you're getting calls from EXP or Real or other agents and they're saying, we got stock for you, every time you close a deal, we'll take your money and we'll buy stock. That's literally what they say. And you're like, yes, I need stock. That's what I need. If you were with EXP for the last 3 years and you were getting stock purchases through your commissions, you would have lost 25% of your value.
Right off.
Does that make sense?
What optimist.
If you would invest it in the S&P fund, which is just a conglomeration of the top 500 companies, and you would just invest it, there's funds that just say, we don't even do any guessing, we don't guess, we just invest in these 500 companies, and that's what we do, and that's what the fund is. If you would invest in those funds, you would have had a 23.5% return in the last 3 years.
Make this money, Don.
So I am talking with people, if you want to meet with a financial advisor, maybe you have one already, a SEP IRA, an IRA, or whatever, we will make a deduction in your commissions and we will send the money to that fund for you. And if you don't know what to do, and you say, John, I'm just clueless, then you should do an S&P 500 fund, because the S&P 500 over the years has beat 93% of stockbrokers. That means every year they judge what the S&P return versus what people who are managing, the experts that are managing their funds, and they beat them 93% of the time. So if you want just consistent money, this is an easy way to do it, and there's a lot of tax deferment that you can do through this. So we're going to bring that to you as well. It's really technical, so give me a little bit of time because the rest of the okay. Also, you can prepay your Techneo fee if you want a discount. If you pay it up front, $14.75, which is a 10% discount. You must opt in by January 20th. You can charge your credit card, or you can do it through a transaction, but that transaction has to close by the end of it. So if you want a discount, and a lot of you do, it's just cheaper. You won't have no monthly fee. You just pay it up front, 10% discount, and we can take it from a transaction or your credit card, either way. All you have to do is let us know. We will send out a text and email and just respond to that. We will put you on that plan and tell us how you want it. Right? Okay? Woo.
All right.